friends. For today's Strategy, Traveling Latitude, I bring you complicated. Yes, got very, very complicated. September 25th, 2023, right across the street. I believe I was told not to fiddle around. Well, I'm fiddling with the truth, and now it's going to come out. We're going to connect dots, because things that are complicated, well, we can put them all together right here in New York, where the problem began. Well, the problem began in New York. It began in California, 2005, Christmas, when I left the fall marriage. Normally, you would just get a divorce, but this is Michael Fogg and Bill Willits and a lot of designs and succession plans. What happens? Oh no! Well, let's see. You end up in the federal court. Shannon Falk would be. There we go. That's my total asset. Those are the liabilities. I don't know. Don't they do math over there in that building? Isn't there an accountant or something? The one who doesn't want to pay anything so that we have to go to the police department. But before we do that, let's get to how this became so problematic on the schedules, eh? Because it began with David Chandler. Yes, we've got Shannon's schedules. Uh-oh. There aren't that many New York things. They're only worth like $3 million or something. Yeah. It was all the financial institutions continuing Michael Fall taking out loans so that his wife and his daughter and his son could not live in their own house in California. That's how I wound up in a federal court. Not like a big win, nothing. I was coming from nowhere and fighting against somebody's. And I am the person that says anybody can fight with somebody's. You got it. You can do it. And here we go. So, how that becomes a problem? Well, during the 07 case, we find out that we've got Michael Falk, the usual suspect. When it's a universal loan application, Michael can get his own date of birth correct. Then he can fill in Shannon's date of birth, 10/1/1965. Isn't that lying, Michael Falk? I don't know. On a universal commercial code. What happens next? Well, Billy Willis doesn't help. No. Shannon must sell this Laguna property. Ordered by a judge. By order of Sonoma County? Uh-oh. There's the problem. Here's where the identity theft begins. That is not my social security number. That is not my birthday. When a banker from New York starts doing that in California, yeah, you can end up with problems like, wait a minute, your first driver's license is issued with, oh no, the wrong birthday. Huh, I wonder who could do that? Be Michael Falk. Yeah. He did a lot of things like that, and you can always tell when it's a Michael Falk fraud on a loan because he would use, see the picture there, people? That's fat Shannon. Shannon lost a lot of weight. Michael's always just Michael. It's my driver's license. He would put it on the loan applications. So this sort of became a problem. I mean, well, I guess if I was dead, but I'm alive. I'm right here in New York, and we're going to keep running on through this complicated because the identity thing. I began reporting this in November with Merle Myers. Yes, this is a long 11-year identity thieving problem too. So this is nothing new, but we're going to get into it, and we're going to just follow on through. Yeah, because Shannon and Michael Falk have a bunch of assets in 2006. 2007, they're going all over there. It's a problem. Oy vey, yeah, the marriage, and to be clear, let's look at, I had to look at this, and okay, yes, Rabbi. To rent a rabbi. That's all right. our faith was, this would be let's just call it my big bad Jewish wedding. But, I don't know. Maybe I should have, figured out occupation, real estate, consultant, Seneca Falls. Okay. 4824. Wait a minute, isn't that in the transcript that Thomas Kleinberger said? Let's see what was going on after the second deposition as this shit show unwound because things started to become New York. Yes. So, we've got this is July, and then out starts coming the depositions of Michael Falk. We've got the videotapes of him. I wish I had this one. I don't. So I'll read from it. Yeah. It starts to become a problem where, Mr. Falk Chandler. The time is 10:24, October 12th, 2007. Right before the tax deadline. Yeah. Okay. What is Petroleum and Resources Corporation? Do you own stock in that company? Where is it headquartered? I have no idea. That's what Michael says. I have an idea. I have some ideas. But let's continue on with the deposition of Michael Falk because it gets really interesting as it goes into the Adams things. Here we go. Oh, let's see. You're asking about brokering CPS. Alistair, do you have an interest in Adams Express Corporation? Michael, I don't believe so. What is Adams Express Corporation? I don't know. It's a corporation. This is Michael answering. Have you ever heard of it before? Where have you heard of it? It was in equity. I inherited it from my dad. That seems like, okay, you went from you don't know what it is to it's something you inherited from your dad. Oh no. These are going to be problematic in New York. Yes, Shabbat Shalom. It's time for the mitzvahs. Adams. But here we continue on, shall we? Because you got big problems you cannot afford. But we'll continue on these unaffordable problems. Yes, okay. Is it traded on any exchange? I think the NASDAQ's just up the walk. I think that one's in New York Stock Exchange. That's where that thing started to become huge in numbers, way bigger than the 20-something millions. Okay, but then this is where it gets interesting. Let's see. Are there payments on the note? Something. Do you have any mineral rights? I have that, Michael Falk. The mineral rights at 6765 Giovanetti Road, which you had your lawyer, aka your former real estate secretary, aka lover, who represents you in the divorce, you were dividing them as tenants and commons. I still have those. Yes, I have my mineral rights in California as well. Okay, Florida, we don't know about. Michael's not quite sure. What is Greenpoint Mortgage? Oh boy, that is when it became hell for me. Yes, indeed. Let's see. This gets interesting. It gets good, folks. Oh my God. Starts to get into, these are becoming security and exchange problems, I believe. Let's see. Wanted the Wells Fargo account number? It was Wachovia, then there were a lot of loans, yeah. Okay. You guys can, anyone who wants to look at this, it's public knowledge. It was taken under a federal subpoena. Yeah. So Michael is sworn in as if he is in a courtroom. Michael doesn't care. Michael's got Bill Willis to help him out. Brian Witt. Oh, he's got some people in New York helping him out too. Oh my God. Let's see. Here we go. Oh. Have you ever issued a durable power of attorney? I believe it was if I was incapacitated in the end stage, unable to make decisions for myself. I think Michael used that for himself, didn't he? Okay. But it's actually the next page. It gets very interesting, and my life became very dark. And this is why I don't remember a lot of the financial things, because this is a crazy time. So we are into financial questions for the next page. Dun, 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 dun. David Chandler. Let's see. Okay, well, let's end it. Let's start where it begins here. Let's see. That's correct. You don't recall the buyer's name? Okay. Mr. Chandler. Folks? Have you ever heard Foakes? This is where Shannon Falk makes big mistake. She thought folks was Falk. I thought it was Michael's using an alias. I didn't know for real that that guy was the president of the Hells Angels. But that was a shocker. The next question, though, you're in a deposition. You don't know what your attorney's asking. When you see this question, you freak out. Yes, let's see. At the close of escrow, do you have anything to do with cultivation of controlled substances? I was like, do we need a recovery? Why would he have anything to do with that? No. Cocaine? He refused to answer on the grounds that it could incriminate himself. Oh my God, marijuana. Well, it's legal now, but you know what? As far as I know, cocaine is not. And then we get into the limited partnerships. I was just stuck on this page. At that point, I was like, okay, what the hell? Who did I marry? And you know, that's where you're like, It's not a great time to find out who you married when you're getting a divorce and it's in federal court. But yeah, let's see. Have you given any part of the income to Shannon? No. No, this has been a long scheme to deprive me of all of my income, and that is really sickening. I brought that DA regarding your client's arrest. Oh, yeah, Michael would have me arrested because he has his friend Bill Willis. They have April stakes and Brian Red. Yeah, if they're going to lose something, my father and my ex-husband will agree, to illegally, illicitly violate my rights and make false charges. Where have we seen that before? Yeah, let's see. So, I get stuck up on that, and then I kind of miss some of the financial questions. Let's see. Can you repeat that, perhaps? Because she's still the mother of our children, and it's very damaging to them, her current behavior. My behavior? Michael Falk? Michael Falk is the one. Didn't we establish already that I believe I've also sent all of this. So, FBI, yeah, I sent this to the FBI too, again, a couple months ago, so they have it. But yes, Michael Falk's behavior is damaging to society when you are a cocaine trafficking freak bag and using identity theft. Yes, that's damaging to children. Michael and Billy and Adams, you sickos. But yeah, that's what I am saying. This is unacceptable, this despicable behavior. Let's see. I think there was more questions about the finances, all these ADX and alliance titles. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of mortgage problems. Yeah, that's that part. All right, now let's get on to okay. So this seems to be going all right. Yeah, you're okay. You think, well, sure, what could happen? What could go wrong? SunTrust mortgage. The FBI becomes involved. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh no. Yeah. And what does Shannon do? Shannon does the reliable thing she always does. Shannon goes the feds and cooperates with the investigation. Yes, I've already sent that to Thomas Kleinberger, 3 days after I was here. So you have had it, 9 months? Almost the time it takes for the gestation of a baby. If you have the information that one of your general partners is generally a criminal, and you know that someone walks in there and tells you that they went to the feds and they don't lie, you best believe them I did. Let's see, who is Dale Dutton? Oh, he's a special agent. Yeah. Because Oh, who else is lying in this scheme? I didn't get $93,000. No, I didn't. Did I, Mr. Foreman? No, because you always need the inside man. You know. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There we go. John R. Perlman, I declare. I am the principal of Adams & Company Real Estate LLC. Okay, good for you. I oversee the management of 10 West 30 Associates, 110 West 30 New York Partnership Ownerships. Okay, good for you. Good, you take ownership of that, huh? Do you? The Curtis advised the debtor, Michael Falk, owns this. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, fine. But there's Section 9 interest. It's fully occupied, really? So how much does that pay a month, Mr. Perlman? Oh, $15,000 a month. No. We had massive amounts. Michael did not need to drag out this thing, declare himself bankrupt. Excuse me. Didn't get to, I read the nebulous operating agreement. Members can be disassociated for personal bankruptcy. So I guess Michael thought he did his sterling little wife to help him out. And who are the usual suspects? Well, that's where it gets really complicated because David Chandler, I think he subordinated for, say, a share of Wells Fargo. And then after we go to New York, because Merle Myers was no fool. No. This is like, I believe this was like right around Zoe's birthday, the 4/11. Yeah, he gets back from New York to subpoena's fidelity. So he had all the goods on everybody. And what did Mr. Myers do with the good information? Did he further the indictment of the Hells Angels? No, he didn't, did he? Took until 2017. The very information, it seems, that Shannon Falk had disclosed on, like, where am I in this thing? They don't use your name, thank God. Apparently that was the one good thing. There it is. July and August, he committed bank fraud, laundering, connection with mortgage fraud scheme for the purpose of mortgage fraud to obtain a residence. Yes, that residence. Where was that residence? Where was the Resident Evil? We'll get into the other connections, shall we? We will. Where was the residence? Oh my gosh, you gotta fiddle fuck through everything, all this junk. I'll find it. It's in here. You can probably, it's in the custody evaluation too, which is tragic. This is awful. Because while this was going on, while the federal case was going on, there was all these child custody things. And when you're only paying your ex $967, your brother, your father, everybody says there's no distributions. Michael hasn't had a listing in 3 years. Oh, poor little Michael. He's getting distributions from the Willets, from anybody he wants. In fact, we'll get to another video. I had one of Merle's depositions where Michael is actually collecting bags of cash. I kid you not. But let's just get to the trauma, shall we? Because this should have ended right about here. This should have ended December 15th, 2008. Then again, you see, because we read the nebulous operating agreement, we know there's a tax deadline. There's problems. So, what does David Chandler do? Nothing about my daughter. This is awful. Let's see. These are the psych evaluations of Zoe Falk until Zoe has a right to her voice, her trauma. It's in her body. No one is going to steal my daughter anymore. Do you understand? Let's see. I didn't grill Zoe. The sex abuse got found out at the school. Yes. Zoe at school. Not Shannon Falk calling the police. The police had to call Shannon Falk because the school called the sheriff because there was a sex harassment assembly. And my daughter stood up, and it's in here. She asked, what do you do if someone at home is abusing you? That's a hard one. So it was a 12-year-old female. Then I told Thomas Klein murder liable is entitled to there's a penal code under the age of 14. It was 7 years. Back in 2008, she had grandparents, uncles, anyone that gave a crap about her. They didn't. They cared about things more than people. And that's a tragedy. It's really just a tragedy. Let's see. So Zoe, my little Zoe, I love my Zoe. I administered the animal choice procedure. Zoe describes herself as an animal figure. She described her parents like animal figures. The projective descriptions can produce relevant information about a child's view of themselves as well as the view of the parent figures in their life. This is the important thing, what the daughter had to say. Zoe described herself as a Jack Russell Terrier. I have good energy. I get real excited. I'm happy a lot. You are, Zoe. You always are. You suck the marrow out of life. And I love that about you. Your name's Greek for life, Zoe. It's Greek for life because you are loved and you are life. You are beautiful. Let's see. I'm happy a lot. I like to snuggle with my dog. The dog gets taken away. This generally reveals a positive sense of self-esteem. That was not the case when Zoe wrote her book. Wasn't now in 2020 after a long time at that Willis compound. Rape. Let's see. No, let's see. She describes her mother as a grizzly bear. Eee, oh no. She will protect her cubs anyway. It looks strange. This is me protecting you, protecting us, bringing truth, bringing it out, Zoe, bringing out the darkness into the light. This is the cycle of abuse. We'll end, sweetie. It will end. Believe you in me. No matter how many times you get knocked down, we get back up, Zoe. That's what we do. Let's see. So, seeing her mother's bear is positive portrayal. I asked her animal for her father. She said, what's the worst animal? No, Martian. Oh my God, from a different planet. He would be half Martian, half sloth. And I'll tell you, this last one, just 2 words. You can read them. That's what Zoe thought of her dad. I think he's lazy too, but not when it comes to self. He's not lazy when it comes to getting himself something, huh? Oh boy. Let's see. I asked her what she liked about her parents' homes. She's been living in a hotel because there's mold in her home. This along with not, actually, there were no mortgages. He took the mortgages out, forced them into foreclosure, and then let the houses go to mold, tried to have his son buy the house. It's just awful. It's horrible. She liked that her brother lived there. Max and Joe are my tribe. We're a tribe. We're a tribe of 3, but we're a tribe. Okay, we are. Let's see. At this point in the road, seeing her brother, she explained, my dad sexually abused me. When I asked her what sexual abuse meant, she explained she went into the Redwood Children's Center to be interviewed. There is a videotape of my daughter taken from the school to Redwood Children's Center. I didn't talk to her until after the interview, so I didn't affect whatever was on the videotapes. And her grandpa and her father, and a lot of people with money, they don't want to see that ever come out. But that's all right, Zoe, it's coming out. Wait, let's see. Now this is a channel for truth, facts, evidence, all right? So if it gets pretty ugly, that's just the truth. That's sometimes how it is. Let's see. So it can be clear what Zoe's claiming took place. I showed her anatomical female. She used the word boba, but that was my word. That's from my grandma to describe her vagina, her butt, her buttocks, her breasts. Zoe didn't have any breath. She was prepubescent. That's just very despicable. And then you sit there in your ivory towers and you protect that for money? For money? That's what you'll do to this person? You won't do a right thing? I've sent this to Thomas Kleinberger. He knows what he's got as a partner, and he does nothing. And he can sleep at night. He can sleep at night. In fact, it's Friday. Well, you're going to go to temple and be just okay with it, huh? Are you? You probably are, because that's despicable. It's just despicable. My feelings. I'm entitled to those. We are entitled to feelings. Yes, we are. So further explained 2 nights when she was going to sleep. Oh, I feel more safe when Max there. Yes, because you don't want to be alone with your father. He's awful. He's just harsh. I was under the covers when I was wearing his underwear and shirt on. I asked her father, shorts on and shirt. She paused, pushed on my private area and pushed on my butt and my bobo. And she took a thumb and a bobo, 4 fingers in the butt. That's what the guy you're protecting. That's what Michael Falk did to a child in 2008. And in 2023, I come to you, and you continue the cycle. Why am I not surprised how it ends? But we'll keep going on that one, okay? Because, yeah, this is where the Hells Angels sort of mix in. But this is really disgusting because no one can tell you, but I can tell you, is Raymond Michael Phelps is Michael Sponsy from Narcotics Anonymous. If you're a drug dealer, cocaine trafficker, you want to do mortgage fraud, the Hells Angels Pact is 2 mortgage frauds, go to NA. It's anonymous, and you can do your deals. Zoe discussed her father taking to narcotics. Nice. I told him I didn't want to go. I would hear him talk about bad things about my mom. I also asked her if she made negative statements about her parents. She claimed her mother rarely said bad things about her dad. That's true. Because, the truth is enough. It's devastating. Let's see. At this point in the interview, Zoe was crying. When Bill Willis read that, he got pleasure out of it. So did his son-in-law, Michael Falk, because when you are a psychopath and when you are a sociopath, you get pleasure from the pain of children, of women, anything. That's how despicable. That's really, really bad. Bad karma. Yeah. So anyway, it's all on the record. Mr. Kleinberger, right there, up in his ivory tower, has that. What he missed is why Earl Myers would be so bad. You see, here's the facts, yes. I did write a book about my experience of my jail time, my false wondrous incarceration experience at the hands of my sadistic father and ex-husband, because like I said, they took pleasure from your pain, and that means putting you in jail falsely. Oh well, but yeah, so they needed to see if David Chandler had in fact put the Rillettes into the trust. Oh, this is not my writing. No, that's my father. He's checking off his boxes. He had my brother Jason come. This date, that's when I was giving a book signing in Sacramento. It's despicable. So I can wind you up with, oh yeah, the wondrous man of the world, Mr. Merle Myers. Yes. So I told Thomas Kleinberger, you're in trouble. You've got a lot of problems. See, you've really got going on July 25th, 2012. Claims it states so. Michael's bankruptcy court said, oh no, they can't do anything about the dissolution. Oh no. Hey. So, the kind of it's got to go to Sonoma County Superior Court. Well, Myers will keep you very, very confused of where the hell you are. So for purposes for the court, he's estimating the physical building. And when he's lying on global settlements? Oh, well, like December 19th. That's after the global settlement, Merle, right? You're then filing a petition shortening to be relieved as counsel. It was a little late. You perhaps should have done that, say, before the global settlement you didn't sign? Ooh, yeah, that becomes a problem. See, Merle C. Myers was smart. He knew how to take advantage of pain. So did his little friend Kathy Klon. Yeah. 18. Yeah, they are furiously hoping. The court was closed that day. I think it was like Cesar Chavez Day. Yeah, but that's the other problem. So I didn't have a divorce attorney in 2014. And so it got filed without the page 8, the voluntary part, the reconciliation. Like, I thought that was always weird. That's why I disagreed. I was never going to reconcile. Okay, attorney fees, those were for California. And then here's where you just get very confused, because you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, so we'll get to the confusing part. Because in between then and there comes some fun, some not fun things, right? Okay, the not fun part is, guess what happens? When you take a traumatized little girl who can't talk about the sex abuse and you put her in Oregon and will move to custody, people get on up. Oh, yeah, where have I, well, and like I said, it's not the unattended death of my nephew. No, it's the attended death of Gertrude that's a problem. And frankly, I think about the only person in these all characters that had a natural death was this guy. Yes. October 13th, 1890. Aw, Samuel Fortune Fox a Libra, just like his daughter-in-law, Shannon. So, we're about justice. We're laying it out there. So I have a father-in-law, and I have a mother-in-law whom I love, who loved children, who didn't hurt them, who would never do such things. But that does not mean you have an attorney who's going to be much help, like one Merle Myers. That's why I did go to court. I thought it was filing Merle and firing and everything, but it is on the record. My goodness. Yeah, huh? What date is that? 100 on the docket. December 20th. That makes it a problem for you. So then what happens if you're in this sticky situation? Because here's what I did. I left on December 12th. That's according to something, at this point, I'm not even a person. This is to my, it says, it doesn't even go to me. It says my name, but it gets sent to my father, which is Merle's trying to leverage and threaten things. Okay, let's see what Merle has to say. For the purpose of this email, make good record today. I began the receipt of Shannon's email the night before. Among many things directed that I take action, I wrote back that morning I would be setting the decision that Shannon needed to change her direction and approach the NLG or need to withdraw. Hours later, Shannon responded with another email, unrelenting. That's me. Rejecting. Yes, I was rejecting your stupid ideas. Meanwhile, Kathy and I resumed the deposition of Michael Fogg. I just happened to show up that day. Finally, Shannon suddenly appeared at the lawyer's office rather than return our calls. Yeah, sometimes I just appear places because it's easier to appear places and just see what the hell's going on. Ugh. Unless I guess nobody wants you to know what's going on, but I know what's going on. You've done a lot of things that are very wrong and very bad, and I'm in New York. You have a jurisdiction for the fraud. Oh, right here, don't you? Yes, you do. But let's see how Merle likes to, this is, I wouldn't say coerce, pressure. God, gotta be almost nutty on this. Let's see. I also told Shannon, if she did not settle today, NLG would bring a motion to withdraw. Good. I was bringing a motion for him to get the hell out, too. That's interesting. Well, if you withdrew, why are you still on the case, like 2016, reopening it. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Then pretend, let's see, motion to withdraw, preparing herself for a lengthy trial by herself. Oh, okay. Thanks, Merle. I also explained to her why dismissal of the Ninth Circuit appeal, which she had earlier demanded, was not wise, and she agreed. Okay. I didn't really know what the hell he was doing other than playing the game, but let's get back to the pressures of Merle Myers. I then presented Shannon with a proposal to modify the terms of the fees and expenses. Yes, the one I'd gone out of the car, X'd out, and said, goodbye, adios, hasta la vista, see you later, Merle Myers. You try and tell that to this guy, and you get more crap? It's ridiculous. But, okay, here we go. Yeah, because I can't wait to see this. Why you pay Merle Myers to hurl one of you, and all you had to do was check with Shannon? She would have told you the truth. Let's see. Let's see. The interesting part, though, is we're going to end up going up to Broadway to get the turnover of the wills. I believe there's a firm here that has them from the writings of Donnelly Blum. Yes, indeed. Because I'll tell you who knew exactly what was in New York. Let's see. Well, here's the interesting part. Here's where we start to play around with Shannon's mental health. Let's see. I finished negotiating with Michael's lawyer. Shannon left the premises. Yes, I did. She said he would then present it to the trustee and the lawyer for approval, which seemed likely. Yeah, however, Shannon did not return. That's right. For many calls, she said, I'm feeling suicidal. I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this stuff anymore today. You know what? If you don't feel like you have the mental capacity to deal with pressure on a certain day, don't sign anything. And I didn't sign anything. And it's all right to feel that way and take a break. That's okay. These things can make you feel like voting yourself out. And didn't we already say that happened? Isn't that funny? Huh? Yeah, it's despicable. Had we just had conversations. No, but we couldn't because we had a lot of things to cover up, didn't we? We'll get to that. The dimwits and all these things. Oh, dang. All right, well, so, all right. One can feel these ways, but I don't feel suicidal. No, I feel invigorated, lifelike. Ooh. Watch out. Shannon's alive and fighting. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Shannon had, let's see, refused to consider the man and literally left the building. Thank you. Oh, the settlement agreement was ultimately signed by Michael. What did I sign? Oh, something that was like 60-40 days before. Yeah, he didn't say that. Well, couldn't say that because he'd already taken $1.1 billion from Bill Willis. Let's see. And then here's his threat. And remember, this email is not going to myself. It's going to my father. So there's now like threats going back and forth. Tomorrow I will appear in the bank report to oppose the trustee's motion to compel. Oh, thanks, Merle. That's good. What are you working for, Merle? Huh? You got like the divorce is worth so much, you go under the title, and then you got from the federal court that you're opposing a motion from the jurors? That's odd, no? Let's see. Shannon will sign the attached settlement agreement up until December 19th. Well, we already established where Shannon was not. She wasn't signing anything, was she? No, she couldn't be because she was withdrawing Merle from the case on this date. She didn't sign nothing, right? We established she didn't sign it. She wasn't a sellout. She don't be pushed into things like that's the rules. That's like a cliff jumping rule. You never push a jumper. You don't do that. You don't do it when there's a lot of money on the table, Merle, unless you're getting something. Huh. Funny. We'll stay like right down there for 4 seasons. Trot around New York like it was his money. Everybody acts like Faulkner's their money. Let's see. Okay, Shannon may sign your documents. Spires. It did expire. Okay, so then what do they do? Because now they got a problem. The Sabbath, they don't know what to do. Uh-oh. They just work around you. Oh. Mineral claims it's now got lien. You got paid from Bill Willits. Didn't we establish that? Oh, well. We established the trust. Oh, yeah. Oh, we don't trust it. Yeah. Yeah. When Michael Falk is doing these kind of things, bad karma, Michael Falk. Bad karma. Yeah. He's doing loans on, yeah. See right there? 2570 Laguna? You see? Didn't we show you the indictment of the Hells Angels too, right? Like I said, facts and evidence. 2570 is also the same notorious site. Yes. Michael, don't set up loans for the Hells Angels in Suncrest in Florida, like on your mommy's money. That's just stupid. But all right. And by the way, this thing is a problem because he transferred Willis LLCs and lent them money. So they had incentive to cooperate. Huh, that's interesting. He would cooperate in such a scheme, in such a way. Don't we have the billing statements of Brian and the Dingaling, Merle? See, after we've got these substitutions. Oh, well, yeah, that's 2017, that's all right. I'm not even in the equation on December 20th. They're just Zoe, Shavui, Spa, like I don't exist. Like they can just do whatever they want. They are like completely above the law. Like it just doesn't apply to those people. That is not okay, ever, ever. Particularly, you hurt my daughter. You really, really can't just keep getting away with this. No, thank you. She's a 12-year-old girl. People need to do the right thing. That's just the bottom line. That's what I'm saying. That's what this is about. And I'll tell you this much. This is a very good piece of news that's happened to me since I moved to New York. I do trust that the law enforcement in Seneca Falls got it and saw it because they asked me a question. Who is John R. Fleming? It was weird. It was like, huh? I didn't know. Like, the principal of Adams in Georgia is calling you? Yeah, almost like you don't want me speaking my truth. Well, I was told to go get my money in New York because that certain person, you know who you are, much appreciated that some law enforcement actually gives a shit about Zoe and Matt and Gabe and Drew. And yeah, but you know, that's where it gets hard. It's sticky because, you know, you got to get people to follow federal orders. And Brian Witt is he's an attorney for credit unions, so that doesn't always work out quite so easily. But yeah, I'm trying my best to get the thing. So yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. So Michael continues to feed my identity. That's lovely. Who's in charge and will let Jen have a single dollar? Right? It's despicable. It is absolutely despicable. So, you too can be reported to the police. You're not above the law. No one is above the law. And I know there's an entire building that still hasn't been divided, let alone the equities, interest, anything in there, because you got all the block lots wrong. But, you know, here's the thing. When these people control your money, they will attempt to do anything. Care of Wada, Loves Carly, and Rick. 110 lost care of Adams. That is my interest. That is my interest. You sent it to my That's mine. You don't take it. You don't steal from the lesser of the people. My goodness. Mr. Dingling, didn't you already establish? You're in Atlanta, Georgia. Duh. Don't do that. Hey, but they do that. For money, people do a lot of crazy things. They will lie. They will cheat. They will steal. Can't steal a whole building and disappear it. It's going to be a problem. Oh, yeah. Look at it. I mean, it's hysterical. Came up on the 2004, 3, 5, 7. Oh. It's like Michael just wanted to play with his little blocks and keep everything for himself. Well, look how that works out. It doesn't work out well for the children of these things. And when we established, I already removed the trustee. I did. And I made my recording at the New York City Department of Finance in 2021. Yes, I did. So we're going to see how we comply the laws of New York, because I guess at this point we're just going to have to do the thing that we need to do, which is probably, I guess what? If you're going to give Shannon a trust, Jason, and you say I have the ownership on Schedule A and I file it, I do have that. And I did transfer it. And so that means it's also a lienable event. Yeah, there's problems for you. And that's just fine. That's fine. You deserve every problem you've got. You've earned that much. Yes, you have. God. Oh, poor Samuel. Hey, Gertie and Sam. They didn't want this. Who wants this for any child? Oh. It's not funny, but yeah. It's the estate of something. Michael Bob, Bruce Bob, John R. Perlman. That's 1993. You got to go back to the 50s. You got to go to ADX, Adams Exchange, all that junk. Oh yeah, and that oil company. That's your problem. That's not mine. The problem was Jeb Singer. Yeah, all right. He actually CC'd Thomas Kleinberger, and he thought like he was relying on the compassion of this guy. Well, he felt compassion for you, but he's the opposition. It's not Match.com. He didn't care that he made demands from the Willows. He has to protect his inside men. And that's what he does. This is the way it goes. But yeah, Jeb Singer, though, I will say, I do have to be grateful for Jeb Singer because we are, he's not, thank God, he's not Frank Range. That's my dad's chief financial officer, the Orville Association. Yeah, and then we've got 10 less 33rd associates, right? It's not identity theft. Don't they take police reports here in New York City for these kind of things? Are you really above the law? I hope not. I really hope that this America, like I spoke yesterday at the wonderful 4th of July, this America's for everybody, not just these people up and down the towers with the white privileges. Nope, we're going to share and share life. Yeah. And then Jeb tells him, yes, Shannon's letter. Jeb actually came back at my father. As your wearing counsel for your estranged daughter. Or you could just call me estranged daughter. I am. I actually follow, the moral compass. With respect to your letter, responding, frankly, it's not addressed to you. Kind of weird, yeah. That's why the cops got a little suspicious upstate. If Bibbles is, answering for people and it's not addressed to him, then all of a sudden some rando, John R. Coleman calls, that does get a suspicion going, dinglings. All right. Contrary to your representation, Shannon is a member of the several, if not all, of the so-called family members, yes. It's these other members. Oh, there are problems. Given that the Wolf's letter and Lamp Brandt noticeably acknowledged, oh my God, you would actively conceal assets from which you will implicitly acknowledge Shannon wrong. Further, you claim that Shannon taxes are separate and independent. Brandt is determined by the facts. Do you want to do the right thing and work with this gun? No, no. You're asking my father if he wants to do the right thing? No, no. He's getting false money since 2001. Oh, where did he get it from? His daughter. That's how my father made his money. And then you know you have a problem. You got to go your own way. When you're trustee, that's when it's time to move the trustee. I am Michael. But here is the big problem. We've already gone into the suicides, the dying, the this and the that, and the actual thing. One time his hamburger had me in his office. I wanted one thing. He didn't even ask what I wanted. Actually, I think I told you what I wanted. One of my children never to see the world's name. They're going to have to shine right with the bones because that is the last name. But as we noticed, Merle was doing things, I guess, that looks like other notary frauds happened. Oh, what date is this? December 16th. William and Patricia Rhodes are trustees. I didn't sign a goddamn thing to my parents. And this is where I really take issue with Adams and Company. This is what I didn't like. And a children's trust. Distribution on the death of Seneca Falls. She's my daughter. She is my daughter. She lost somebody that was like a brother to her. Zoe lost William Gabriel to an abraded furrow of the neck ligature, cerebral pulmonary history of the deceased found hanging by the neck. You know this. You have every single piece of evidence, and you are covering up. You're covering up. You're covering up. And that is not okay. That's never okay. That's not all right. I live in the real world, the one where there's consequences for this, where I've watched this too many times. And so, I'm going to have my tragedy. I'm going to march my ass into the police department, and I'm going to make a report just like every citizen in this country can. And yes, it's a large theft. It's a big-ass identity theft. Yeah. But don't steal, man. Just don't. Don't steal $5, $50, $5,000. Don't do that to people. They can come back. They can come back, and this woman is in New York to say enough is enough, is enough, is enough, enough paying the almighty dollar and David Levy to walk around all in what are you thinking now? 3 to 5 generations? Look what happened. Look what happens when you get it wrong, people. People are dying for this. There's dead people here. Dead people. And this is okay. And you sleep at night, I'll tell you what it is. Because today is Friday. And I assume that you're closed and you're going to tender. And I'll tell you, Gertrude had a word for it. There is a word for it. It's shanda. That's what you have done. Shanda. A shanda. That's a scandalous shame. It's a shanda. It's a shanda. So, you can stand there and you can lie to me. You have every single piece of evidence, everything here. It's all up there. It's all in Central Thomas Library. So just think Thomas Library. I underestimate the fact that after my dog died, yes, I resent it again. And said, please, FBI, do the right thing. Get Michael Falk. He's still using my name as husband and wife. Couldn't we establish that somewhere in here? In this crap show, Michael's running around with me as like husband and wife. Hey, that's Michael. He can't really quite let go. He just can never let go. And so, if you're still using my name, dude, I'm in New York. And I'm all about justice. That's what this is about. That's really what this is about. So, yeah, it's sad. That's what it's about. If you're into justice and you want that thing, you're asking for a lot, because you don't got a number. When you don't have a number, guess that makes you sort of like, well, the person who might file the SEC complaints, things like that. Because, yeah, looks like Jason had already drained everything in 2019 anyway. So, yeah, people just use people. So, the good news out of this is that, you know what? I write, and I was writing a book as the pandemic, as the shutdown happened, and so it's an evolution, an independence. Engaged, you only die twice. So maybe this channel is just a promotion for my book. Oh my God! Didn't Michael just argued, I think in 2007, that I had done all that trust stuff to gain an advantage? What is the advantage? Okay, maybe the advantage is that I'm going to write a damn good book, and it's half already done. Let's see, let's start my book off, okay? Because this was already done in 2020 before Zoe came back, and my parents started to bother her and put ideas in her head and traumatize her more. I was writing. We'll give you, here's a first page for you, and then you have to buy the rest. Yeah, so when it's published, I'll get it out there. Bury me with all my ice on. Yeah, that's my first chapter. So you died, smack back. My promise moved from around the service chair. I am seated in an extreme NorCal Ray Oswald's commission's office being asked 4 questions about chapter endings. And I thought maybe my book was finished June 3rd, 2017. Yes, I survived a heart attack on Pennsylvania Museum. I'm right here in New York and alive. That evening when I died, thought I was reborn. A clapperboard in a movie slaps behind the scenes, where an invisible director screams action, and red numbers roll back. Time, 2, 3, 2, 1. Roll scene, act 1. A snapshot of my life passing before me, where I passed away, less than a mile away. Why was I waxing all poetic about my life? 911. Surf's up. About 6 weeks into the finish, guzzling 600. Heavyweight chance, a hoop dreamer. Catching net. My life was crazy. Hit up my phone. But, let's see. Strange life. No strange. Netflix does not own me. But I did come back because my dog. What's your dog's name? My dog's name is Gigi. That is the reason I owe all this to a little dog. You want to blame something for this? Here we go. Blame the bitch. Love you, G. Gotta do the right thing always. In honor of all things that are no longer existing but have good spirits. It's Gabriel, Gigi, and Gertrude. And for them, who cannot speak. Well, my dog's in a better place. I gave my dog a wonderful send-off. It was a humane death, unlike all these other ones. Gigi is in a better place. Gabe and Gertrude, they did not go out on pink-clad rainbows. They were not told they were loved or appreciated. That's wrong. That is going to be big. That's a Michigana. That's a large Michigana. It's all happening right there. But yeah, I did not much like or appreciate the accidental death of my mother-in-law, who did nothing but love her grandchildren. And so, I love her. I love Samuel. I love Max. I love Zoe. I love my brother Pete. I love justice. I love life. I love the pursuit of happiness. And it's not about the almighty dollar, folks. You know, I just did not like a trust that had distributions for when Zoe's dead, and somebody else already paid the ultimate price, didn't they? That's bad karma. You don't then put trust together where there's like extra points for dead dogs. Not okay. My word. Not in any way. So, big this. I will go to the precinct and do the next right thing because this is about gratitude, with traveling with attitude. So, whatever you're going through, however complicated, you can get through it. You can slip this mess. And I'm sure somewhere, yeah, I don't like this idea of private wealth firm thing, I know. It bothers me. Yeah, it does. Do you know that there's actually a firm? There's firms here. One of them has 170 lawyers. All they do here in New York City, private wealth law, right? 700 total lawyers, 16 offices, and all they study is private wealth. That's a problem. I guess that's Samuel and I have the balancing act, right? The Libra thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that thing, but it will resolve because there's actually meanable buildings. Yes, I actually drove to California, removed a trustee, went to the New York City Department of Finance, and did this thing the right way, the legal way, the hard way, the long way, and I'm still in it. And you know what? You can deny things all you want, but you know what? You're in a consensual hallucination, dudes. Get out of there. That's what that is. All these power people, Brian Witts of the world, and Merle Myers, and Thomas Kleinbergers, and David Chandler's, all of that. It's a damn consensual hallucination. Are you crazy? I'm alive. Got this power G with me. Like Miss G. But wherever you are, whatever you're going through, no matter how complicated you practice, I've got mad respect for you. You're gonna make it. Just stay in it. Stay in it. Stay in it. Stay in it. You can see I did not want to stay in it much with Merle in like 2013. Would you? Okay. I made it through. I seem to be just fine right now in New York, so here I am. Yes, I am. Yes. That's me. So, that I will conclude, and you must, at all costs, stay alive. Finish your course at that. Above all else, stay alive, folks. Don't vote yourself out. Give yourself credit. You're worth it. You have value. You have meaning. It's not about the almighty dollar. I hear you. No one else hears you. I hear you. I feel you. I get it. It's hard. It's okay, but you're going to get through. You're not alone. You're not alone. But there's no buts. Ifs, ands, or buts. We got this, okay? So no matter what, travel with God, you have the ability to do that. Oh, the babies. There's a Rolo on me. I love it. It's cool, guys. I'm going to finish up this little bit on the Adams Company, not on the internal examination. What was very cool about my nephew is he had a very large heart. I believe it was 400 grams, and we can't measure the size of a heart. And that, somebody asked me what this was about. I'll tell you one thing it wasn't about. When I moved to New York, it wasn't about being a Woods design anymore. And Bill Woods, you don't get to steal your daughter's identity, steal your granddaughter and your grandson's money, steal your daughter's marriage trust, and build yourself up as something when you're nothing and nobody but a criminal. Ain't okay. And Merle Myers, what he did, and what Brian Witt did, 2018, I was not married to Michael Fogg. We are not husband and wife. The man has an obsession, and if Thomas Kleinberger has all this information, he's done nothing with it, what is he but a terrorist in some sense of the word? He's designed a Holocaust, and that's terrible. I moved to New York, and I was very successful on my own right. That's all I wanted was my own rights to live my own life. But no one wants that. Particularly when Shannon's writing about her own complex post-traumatic stress disorder, father's belly, especially when Shannon's down and driving to Florida. Aww. Yes, Gertrude. Thank you, Gertrude. for loving Max and for showing you that love is, because I didn't have much of an example from my mother. Any mother that ever says this to a child isn't much of a mother. This is from my mother. After my daughter's about 20, must have been about 23, getting some money. I deeply pray for your death, peace for our family and anyone who has had any hands in helping you. Yes, helping you. You are an evil person. When asked by anyone how I feel, I tell them peace and death. So sorry for you, Shannon. I have a picture of the car that was beside Gabriel's desk when he hung himself. So I understand. Gabriel, I get it. She's abusive. Huh. Actually not abusive. Gertrude Falk, yeah. When you drive to Florida, also I'm finding out, Hotel Hollywood development, there's problems. You come back, that's what becomes of your business. So, finally, Mr. Kleinberger had other problems too beyond 1993. Whoopsie. Oh, 1994, ding-a-ling. Despicable what people do to women, huh? Also, Mr. Kleinberger, let me remind you, there's more than that property. 1996 problems. There's a bunch of problems. I believe that's Gertie. And yeah, you got problems with the New York City Department of the Fire Department, Coal Fire Department. 110 West Holdings has problems. My problem was Billy. Oh God. Yeah, you go to Florida. Oh wait. Yeah. And that's how you find out that Billy's put a little player or somebody to mess with money with Michael still. Oh, wait, who's this guy? Doesn't he have a FINRA number? Okay. Yeah, we're getting into financial crimes. That's what I'm saying this was. This is a hell of a lot of fraud. And it's not okay. And it's particularly not okay because of all of the people you've hurt, harmed. Can't buy back life, can you? And you have stolen 6 extra long, laborious, awful years, and it is time for that to end. The fire department. Anyway, if you're tired, if you're having your time with this thing, it's all right. You'll get through it. It can be laborious. It can be painful. That's complex trauma. It's because the abuse hasn't stopped, and they're still at you. And that's okay. You can also have growth, and then you hope, you pray. But one day, you can get to just plain old PTSD, that it becomes less complicated. But unfortunately, when you add too much money, it becomes a lot of yeah. Michael had me arrested. They actually gave me a ginger ale. Thank you. Fidelity. Wasn't that Merle? Yeah, there's going to be some problems. Federal, state, whichever way. You got some accountings to do. You're accountable. And Shabbat Shalom. You have a mitzvah to do. Yes, in New York you have mitzvahs. That's the way the Jews. You're supposed to do that. I know. I'm the one with the tattoo telling you, but it's a shanda. It's a shanda. It's a shanda. I won't keep silent. You won't silence me. I won't stop. I won't stop. As long as I have a breath of life in me, I will not stop. The truth is worth it. The truth should set you free. And I believe it does. We'll test that one. We'll test it in New York. Oh my gosh. Didn't my dad say he was testing me? Well, I'm testing you, dude. This is a test. This is only just, yeah, that's what I hear in my ears from all the complex trauma. But through one at a time. I have my support system, so whatever you're doing, don't drink also. It's not worth it. It just prolongs the pain. So stay sober, stay awake. It's okay, you'll get through it. Attitude, type of attitude. And you know what? Adam's company, shame on you. Shonda. Gertie, don't play that. Didn't we cover that like in Michigan? Yes. And Shannon don't play that. And Zoe don't play that. And Max don't play that. And then Jonathan Human calls his stepmom a bad mom. Did he take you in when you had like an ankle bracelet and you were arrested after, hey, you didn't make Riley's wedding, right? You were in the drunk tank in LA. With the DUI, you can't go to Canada. Don't tell him, man. I know. Oy. Okay, it's a mess. But yeah, when you cover up the things and then you have bizarre succession plans, it does not work out. Trust me. I know these things. Okay. But anything else, anything complicated, we can get through it, guys. We can get through this thing, yeah? I will touch you. And then let's not forget Brian Witt's world. After the buyer's settlement, there were actually extra funds. Really? 2018. 32 days after my nephew's death. This is what you're telling me? Oh, I hope I'm enjoying Bernie? You're a weirdo. I'm assisting Mom and Dad making cleanup changes to documents. There's no longer Shannon Faulkner. It just no longer exists? Oh no. The LLC's employed by law. dimwit. Yikes. And then, sorry, you could service me, Miro, by... I wasn't at Shark Brain Media in 2016 to reopen the case, but then you knew that, didn't you, Miro? So, I want to know who paid Merle and how much. That would be interesting to find out. Anytime, we'll just be uncovering the mystery, staying true to ourselves to the end top be true. Have your chat to trouble and okay, guys, I want to finish this gratitude on an honest note to finish out this complex journey. There is no world in which December 12th I don't sign something, and December 13th, you can see it's CC Shannon Bach, but it goes to my mother. So I never get this email. Merle. As you know, Shannon suffers from mental illness. Yesterday she experienced extreme anger, agitation, confusion. I understand Michael's offer is, oh my God. My understanding, Michael locked 50% on both New York properties, no theater income. You're using me like a thing. Once he state completion, Shannon will be on a split from Merle Myers. This is so despicable. You, Bill Willits, brought out mental health that didn't exist because you lied in a federal case because you needed to. And then you covered it up, didn't you? You covered it up. 2017, and you didn't think I would come back. You didn't think I would notice. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. For anyone that's been so devalued that they feel like a thing that their parents will use, don't buy into it. Somebody asked me what this was about. 2019, I guess I would have said. It's kind of sort of clouded in there. My nephew is dead. He shines in the clouds like a rainbow, telling me to speak his truth. He shined yesterday. He's telling me nobody listens. I get it, Gabriel. But I will make everyone else get it too. So I'm trying to write me out everything. I want my children to inherit social justice value. So this person that does sort of get me, I also wanted to say, the part of it was, I was picking up a friend with her daughter in 2019 and wondered, why couldn't I see my daughter? I miss Zoe. I miss her. But we're together. We'll always be connected. That's my daughter. I'm not like my mother. I love unconditionally. And I love my nephew. And so I also say that it is my duty to speak the truth when those that are weaker cannot speak the truth. Mothers don't pray for their children to die. That is despicable. That's not a mother. That is not anything that I ever want my children to be affiliated with. And when you take money from Michael and Shannon to fund your expedition to Oregon, as it ends badly, and then you try and cover it up in New York, oh no. The Hells Angels actually did life in prison. And you know what? This has been like a prison. This thing that these people have done to myself and my children, it's just disgusting. For what? Oh, there's no bullets. We'll play a game. My dad's always got to hustle. Grandma Audrey had a few wise words about Billy Cake. She did say he was like Charlie, as in Manson. But I'll tell you what, Billy and Feinberg and Michael Hall and Adams and Perlman, this is such bad karma. Never do you write a trust that benefits on the death of a child. That is never, ever going to sit well with me. Because I live, because I'm here. My nephew cannot speak for himself. He no longer exists. And that, happened because there is abuse of the mental health of my nephew. How do I know? Because it was done to myself. So I kind of already knew the minute I got the call. I really had been at it. And also 2007, Adams Bunga paid me out $19 million to Donnelly Flom. Yeah, bad karma again, woman money junk. But that's, yes, I suppose that's the biggest thing that I wanted to say. Life is a spirit journey. And I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I won't give in, because when you're fighting the most important battles of your life, and those are the ones you fight for other people that no longer exist. They cannot speak for themselves. You gotta just give it everything you got, and then some. And that is me. That's what I do. I fight as darn hard as I can, because you know what? My nephew is no longer here to speak a word, to say what was his life experience, what was that terrible, terrible thing about. It's just, you don't treat children like real estate. You don't move them around. That is, there's a lot of words for it. It's just, again, it's a shanda. It is an absolute shanda. It is unacceptable. It doesn't, I won't accept that. I will not accept that kind of abuse. And, also, as I told Dinnerling Kleinberger, don't use the same fraudulent notary on my divorce and the federal order. My name is not F-A-U-L-K on 12/18. It's Falk, F-A-L-K. So get that right. Stop using Falks like we're things. We're people. You trade buildings and buy real estate, not people. You don't treat people like things. And you know what? You especially don't go around, brand yourself in the loyalty brand, and then treat people that come in there to speak the truth to you, Mr. Kleinberger, as the in-house counsel for this shit show, the joiner. And then you don't help. You do nothing. Oh, wait, yeah. Yes, I also sent Mr. Kleinberger the pictures of what I found inside the house when they were saying, in the case that I was not the responsible person to handle money. Wait a minute, Raymond Michael Folks. Wasn't that Michael Fall? Yeah. So you know what? You don't victim shame. You don't blame people. You take accountability. When you've done something wrong, you make amends. And my nephew, he no longer exists. So I'm doing my very best with what I got today. And I can only speak to my life experience of being on the receiving end of this stuff for a number of years. And you can see that started December 13th with my father on this nutbag idea that if you just use mental health enough, it might work out. Well, I guess if I was gone and then you had Shannon and Michael still married, it might have worked out, but that's not the case. I'm alive, I'm my own person, and I would appreciate it if you would please treat me as such, and that you would honor the losses, the sacrifices that others have made, and that includes my nephew. He's not coming back. He's never going to get another life. He'll never be past 21. And maybe if you had done the right thing, ever, this might have been avoided. But no, you'd rather play a game. So, I'm here to say no more. No more games. No more BS. I'm in it to win. Winning it is getting liberation. So, stick at it, stay at it. And if you gotta go to Fifth Avenue to get it out of your system, get it out of your system. You're worth it. You're valuable. Never give up. Never give up. No. You are totally worth it. You've got this. I retract. One last note. Gabo. Buddy. I realized, when I told you about it should have been me He couldn't have been me because I have to be here to speak for us, Gabriel. For those of us who've been pushed to an edge, and I know where you were pushed now. I can see it, buddy. So, I have the utmost respect for my nephew. I am really tired of suicide being treated like a silent thing. You know what? People need to look at this in a way that's different. Like, how was this person abused? How were they hurt? Were they pushed? Because I'll tell you what, if you hadn't deprived my nephew of money for a year and you let him pursue his heart's desire, this child would still be around. And the fact that you put my daughter through hell, through absolute hell, is despicable. It's just wrong. So I don't, claim to be, I don't speak to dead people. We've covered that at Low Dell. But I am here to bring a message that, you know what, I won't be silent about that thing. I am a survivor of that too. And, I just know that I'm here to say my piece about it, say the truth about it. But when you know about it at 411 Fifth Avenue and you do nothing, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're covering up, and you're covering up the sex for money. And it ain't okay. It ain't okay. I'm here with attitude. Yes. Tattoo. And one final note for all those people out there that, they had triumphs today, they cared about Gabe. If you do nothing and you have knowledge of the abuse, you are just me as culpable because you remain silent. And what is it? Evil dwells and good men do nothing. Well, you have information now. If you don't reach out and help Zofall or Maxwell, they'll be worse. It just keeps happening. It's a pattern of abuse. So, on that serious note, don't call yourself family if you don't behave as such. And more. And in the meantime, tattoo. Okay, and on one final note, this whole thing, life is a spirit journey. It's been 19 dang months. I have been working to make a living amends. My nephew to my children. Get rid of the creeps. Get out of our show. I don't want to regret my past. I don't wish to shut the door on it, but I wish to move along. Quite a long journey. Particularly by having these people with the rocks around your neck. So, they're not invited to my women party. I don't owe them any amends. My mother, I dragged her to meetings. Any mother, cocaine, acid, my father asked me, if she goes to AA, can she still work with him? No. She doesn't know how to work a program. That would be Langston. That means you do what you can in this life while you're alive, and I'm doing that darn in a rich way. But it's very difficult with a lot of people involved. But frankly, in the spirit. There we go. How about that? It's 19 long extra months. We'd be done now. That would be great. I'd like to return the house to years. It'd be like 36, 7 years. I don't know. I was so whittling. Exactly. So, whatever you're going through, hang in there. You're totally worth it. And recovery is not always easy. The promises, and sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Always comes here to work for them. This has been more work than an Airbnb, but I'm working on my amends. Yes, indeed. So, but on my list, I know your amends. Mine's slight. It's a short list now. We're done. I don't know. But for anyone dealing with anything, stay sober, stay out of it, extract.